Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with blue purple Luffy versus red green Smoker. Before we get too deep into this game, I do want to remind you guys, if you guys want to go above and beyond to help me support the channel, there are two options to do that. My favorite option is to go to 1000 Noble and get yourself a custom playmat. You can either commission me for your very own design, or you can pick one of my pre-made designs. We got some new ones heading to the shop soon. So I'm going to 1-Dawn and pass, and my opponent is going to go ahead, drop 1-Dawn Virgo there, and search the top. I think it's 4. It's 5. I'm wrong. He's going to search the top 5 for a Navy type character, and after a little bit of pre-release clapping and things, we'll resume our game. He is going to grab Smoker. I know you guys can't really see it off the screen. Don't worry, I'll tell him he needs to be more on the screen next time. But yeah, the Smoker, and gonna go ahead pass turn, and we have Bond Clay here, which is great, but we are on 3-Dawn with not much else to do, but we do have It's to Die For. So I tweaked my list since the last video, and I have It's to Die For is now a 1 of, and I have more God Thread. So I'm trying that out. I have 1 It's to Die For and 2 God Thread, I think is how I split my events. And I was reading that to make sure that I can still ramp even if he doesn't have a 6k body, and I can, it just doesn't give me that double ramp. So yeah, I just really like It's to Die For. I don't want to get rid of it completely, but I do think that God Thread is a really valuable thing to have. So we'll end up swinging 7 into lead with Luffy, and my opponent's gonna go ahead and take it, no trigger. And we'll go ahead and pass turn. And the weird thing about Luffy that I've noticed is, even though I feel like my hand contains several bricks, I still feel pretty confident in my ability to survive. Even though I only have 3 life as well, I just feel like there's a lot of sustainability with this deck, especially when you get to 9-Dawn and start dropping your Sanjis. It's kind of stupid. I'm very interested to see how this deck does going forward, and if they do any bans to the deck. And I have Miss Doublefinger in my deck because I like the trigger to play out a body. I think she's a 2 of right now. Might just put 4 Sanjis in. I do have 2 of my 6 cost Sanjis, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I just like using Miss Doublefinger, but my opponent's gonna tap 2 for Rosinante and then tap 2 for Scotch. And actually, Scotch, it's a pain in the ass this entire game, realistically. Like, granted, we'll talk about it more when we get there, but we are gonna be at 6-Dawn, I believe, if I can count. 4, 5, 6. I'm so good at math. 6-Dawn, we're gonna go ahead and tap 4, play Bond Clay down. You know how we do. Unfortunately, I was like trying to figure out, like, can I get another Dawn? Can I play Bond Clay? No, I can't get another Dawn. I can't play Bond Clay, so we're just gonna swing real big here, get rid of one of those blockers. And hope for the best. Yep, there goes Scotch. Understandable. And pass turn to my opponent. We do have a Giant in hand. Don't really want to use Giant yet, because Luffy ability, I need to be at 8-Dawn before starting my turn, which is, I often forget to do leader ability, so I've been trying ways to just slow my, like, instincts down, like putting something on top of my deck, like a dice, or like a little, buggy figurine I have, but that does help. But my opponent's gonna tap 5 for the TCG, and I am wishing we had God Thread right about now. Or not TCG, that's Smoker in TCG's body. The banished Smoker, pretty good, and he's gonna be able to restand Dawn, dude. The restand Dawn mechanic that One Piece is doing is, I really like it, but like in like cases like green purple Luffy, it can get really out of hand. So I'm also interested to see what they do with that. And he's gonna go ahead, swing 6 at lead. I'll take. We haven't taken yet, and we are gonna get a Big Mom, and then pass turn. We get another Katakuri, a little bit, a couple more bricks in our hand here. But now we have a 7k Bond Clay to swing. And potentially we could drop another Bond Clay as well. So I'll go 7 at lead, copying the Smoker ability. And let's see if he's going to give me some counter. He does have 2-Dawn up, so it's possible we get a Igloo. And yep, that's what it's going to be. He's going to go ahead, buff himself by 3 for the turn, and minus Luffy by 2, making him a 4k leader for now. And then we are going to tap 9 just to play Big Mom. I think Big Mom Big Mom to put TCG at the bottom of his, or Smoker at the bottom of his life. I keep calling him TCG. Gee, I wonder why. And we're gonna go ahead trash a card. Thinking about trashing, I think Bond Clay is probably the best bet. I thought about trashing one of the Katakuris, but 2 Katakuris on field would be really nice. Honestly, I think the card in this deck that I'm least stoked about, if you will, is Nami. I think Nami's really good, but I feel like I always miss the opportunity to play her, and I'm sure I'll figure this deck out more the more I play it. I think this is like maybe my 4th game with the deck. First game with the deck redone. I built a different list now. But my opponent's gonna go ahead, tap 8 or 7 for Hody Jones. He's gonna rest my mom, dude. Not my mom. And we're gonna see what he wants to do. So he did think that Hody only rested Dawn, and I was like, no, dude. It rests characters. You can rest Big Mom. As I said, I think I said at least, my friend here is coming back to the game after a hiatus for probably a couple sets at least. Like, this is his 2nd or 3rd time playing this new Smoker. I've been trying to get him back into One Piece, but he's really loving that Union Arena, which is understandable. Union Arena is a pretty fun game. I am a casual UA player. I'm just too unlucky to play Union Arena any more than casually, so gonna go ahead and Smoker to restand a Dawn, and I'm getting a little worried, but he swings 8 into Bond Clay. Yeah, I let Bond Clay go there. I think my buddy probably should have swung 8 into me, and then Smoker into, but realistically, both bodies got cleared. 5, 6, 7, 8. It is 2 8s. He could have pressured the Big Mom as well, but we are at 8 Dawn before our turn starts, so it is time to sort our deck, and we're going to take the Uso Hachi. Unfortunately, not really seeing much to play, and here's one thing that I have to get better at. I really have to get better at, and I think I did it here, but knowing what I'm going to gum. And I kept this up top, even though there's no Sanjis or anything like that. I kept it up top because I wanted the counter cards. I don't know if that was greedy or not, but gonna draw for turn, drawing into another 9 Mom. So we could put Rosinante in life if we wanted, and then heal, and we would be putting Zoro in our life. And this is one of the things that I think is the hardest thing about this deck, is knowing, like, when you organize that top. I'm always like, what's my Sanji play? What am I drawing into? And I'm learning to think about if I gum, what will I draw into? Things like this, and things like that can really make the game. I know I lost a game because I put a 2k counter too low, and I just needed it to win. So we go 6 in the lead, then we're gonna drop 8 for good old Katakuri. End of turn. I know my buddy was like, that's dumb, and I was like, oh wait, it's gonna get better. I'm gonna restand Big Mom. So yeah, pretty crazy. That Katakuri is so good, and y'all know I'm a Katakuri fanboy. I see you guys voting for Katakuri, which is hilarious because tomorrow's game I'm playing Jinbei. I built Jinbei. It looked really fun, and I've been having an absolute blast with Jinbei. So we built Jinbei, but I'll probably borrow my buddy's Katakuri deck for a couple games or some tournaments. We'll see. But my opponent taking his time to think about his turn, so that's why there's so many little cuts here, as I'm just trying to speed up the process. And there's my buddy trying to pawn his Katakuri deck off on me. But no, the Katakuri deck is so much fun. So my opponent is going to go ahead, play another Hody. I really like the aggression from him. I mean, I asked him if he wanted to rest the Dawn, and he decided to rest board, which I think it's a decent choice. I would have rested at least 1 Dawn, and then Katakuri, personally. But I'm still sitting in a pretty good position, I think, with the counter I have in my hand. We have the Uso Hachi. We have the Miss Double Finger and Nami as far as counter, as well as 1 Gum Gum, which will draw us into 2 more 1Ks. since we sorted the top. But he's gonna play Hody, restand Dawn with a leader ability. Gonna go ahead, go 6 at lead, and we're just gonna give him that Nami. I feel like that is a decent choice. I guess Nami's really good if you want to cycle in your hand. I know on this deck there is a really good chance to just be incredibly bricked up. Haha, nice. But I feel like this hand is pretty good. I've got enough counter, and since I am a 6k leader, it's a lot harder, I feel, to like swing through, I guess, in a way, if that makes sense. It requires more Dawn. There we go. That's a better way to say it. Also, I hope you guys really like my Queen Dawn. I love them. The best, I don't know, like $3 I spent was a 10 of Queen, but he's gonna go ahead, swing really big into lead, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take that, getting our 3rd Gum Gum Giant. Kind of crazy, dude. When we're him, we're really him. And then a 10 going, I think, at lead as well here, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna use one of those giants. Tempted to trash the Katakuri, but I am gonna trash Big Mom. I think Katakuri is really valuable in the fact that he just restands himself. And we're gonna draw into Bon Clay and Zoro Juro, my beautiful set of all-star Zoro Juros. Bought them right before this deck came out, and they were so worth it. So leader ability is gonna go off. We see a God Thread here, and so here's the funny thing: is I think I still have Usohachi in my hand, and we're gonna discuss why that's funny in a second. So I'm gonna take Zoro Juro there, just taking the counter. I am going to put Rush Luffy at top. I kind of don't want him to know that I'm getting Rush Luffy, if that makes sense. Because, you know, when you search, you have to reveal it. But if you put another card up top, yeah, look, we get Rush Luffy. So, yeah, so I have Usohachi. I forgot. I'm like, how do I get around his blocker? How do I get around this blocker? I literally could have just played 3 and rested the Rosinante, but my opponent does have, I think I asked, and he had about 7 cards in hand, excuse me, so I definitely got a little skittish about going for game there. Yeah, because I was like ready to go for game and ready to just play the Rush Luffy, and then I was like, how many cards in hand? And he was like 7, and I was like, I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know. And I think that I have enough of a board state to protect my board and get some cards out of hand. So 3 and 6 with lead. We get the 2k out with Chopper. I think we swung into Hody. Another 8 and 2 done for both of our giants. We'll be drawing into I think more counter card, but I could be wrong if we giant. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, play down blocker Katakuri, and restand our Big Mom Pirates characters and pass turn. Blocker Katakuri is so good in Katakuri, but I think it's just going to be good in any purple deck that you run Big Mom. Like, I think that Purple Luffy is running it now. Purple Luffy, we'll probably revisit Purple Luffy eventually. And I know I'm really excited for the Yamato starter deck, so we will be playing Yamato at some point. And then I just picked up my Buggy starter deck today, so we'll be back on that Buggy soon, I promise. No worries, all my Buggy believers, dude. So I'm feeling pretty confident that we can stay alive this game, or this turn, excuse me. I realistically could giant, do my 2 giants. That would put me pretty low. Put me too low for the Rush Luffy. So I took out the secret rare Luffy because A, I didn't own one, and B, I don't know, I really like the 9-cost Luffy. It replaces itself in hand. But there is argument for a one of Rush, or a secret 6-drop Luffy, the new one that bounces. Because if I played that, I could have bounced Rosinante to his hand, for instance. So I did just pull one, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that, if I want to add it back in. But my opponent's going to go ahead, swing 7, and I think there I am realizing I have Usohachi in my hand. Or excuse me, that's 8. We're going to give him a 2k, 1k there. Not going to give up our giant so easily when we have so much counter that we don't need in hand. So I think my opponent knows at this point that he has to go for game, or he's toast, respectfully. But so he's trying to figure out the best way to do that, and it definitely makes it harder since I am 6K. It is a lot more that he has to, a lot more Dawn he has to give his smaller bodies, in Virgo and Rosinante, if he wants to swing Rosinante, and he's thinking about it. I think there's not really much. The 2 Katakuri blockers make it real tough, so he's gonna swing pretty big here with Katakuri, or that's Hody Jones. I know my One Piece characters. 8, 9, 10. We're gonna go ahead, trash the Zoro, -2 Dawn, and draw 2, drawing into Gear 2 and Nami. So Gear 2, a nice option to give us counter that's not Gumgo Giant, so we can still leader ability. So 8, 9 gonna come down at us. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I'm thinking about using Gear 2. I thought that was his hand, and it was his Dawn, so he was just showing me that. I'm trying to think about if I want to take it or if I just Gear 2. We'll Gear 2. 6, 7, 8, 9. Do I not give him another counter? I think that... Yeah, I should have given him another counter. I would have given him Bon Clay, I think. In that instance. I think I miscounted that. Yeah, because he swung... Hody Jones is 8,000 power. He swung... Yeah, he swung 9. That got me up to 9, so yeah, I would have given him the Bon Clay there, I think. And then he goes to swing with Rosinante, and I was like, dude, swing with Virgo. Like, you want to swing with Virgo. He's bigger, and he's not a blocker. And my buddy was like, oh, yeah, you're right. So he's going to swing... Let me count. I know we were miscounting his... what is his name? The... Smoker! Jeez! So, yeah, we end up getting to our turn. I realized I forgot to leader ability, and we finally see a Sanji. So I'm like, okay, what do I do here? Do I finesse it? Do I style on him with one of my basic Sanjis? Or do I just Usohachi and go for game? With 3-ish cards in hand, and we know he's getting a brick, I'll draw into Sanji. And then, yeah, I finally remembered I have Usohachi, and I'm feeling a lot more confident about going for game at this point. I will go ahead and rest Rosinante with the Usohachi, and then I'll go 8 at lead, see what he does with that, see if he can counter out, or see if we can get him there. Yep, he'll go ahead and take that, and I'll go 9 at lead, and that is game. So many smokers, so little time. 3 smokers in his hand, my man. I mean, 2 of them in his hand, because I put one there, but yeah, looking for my pretty Sanjis. Look at my alt art and my SP Sanji right on top of each other. Crazy. But yeah, that is gonna go ahead and do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. すぐに片付けますのでご安心を。おらー、これじゃあキリがねえ。